This is a verse from the Gorakhbani, which I really like. It goes something like this in simple Hindi. गोरख कहे सुनो ए अवधो जग में ऐसे रहना. गोरख कहे सुनो ए अवधो जग में ऐसे रहना. आंख से देखो कान से सुनो लेकिन मुंह से कुछ नहीं कहना. Listen, O great soul. Gorakhnath says, this is the way to live in the world. See with your eyes, hear with your ears, but don't speak. So what is Shiv-Gorakhnath Babaji trying to tell us through this verse? You see, hearing and seeing are passive. Sounds come to you, images come, but in speaking there is a degree of activity. We exercise speech, and because there is a degree of activity in speaking, there is a sense of doership in speaking. And most of us, when we speak, we are reacting. We react based on our conditioning, our worldview, what we have read, what we have heard, right from our formative years. It's like a knee-jerk reaction, most of us on autopilot. If someone pushes a button, we react instantly. Or a lot of our speech is about giving opinions, judgments, criticism, blame, condemnation, all based on doership, something someone else did or something I did. As Siddharameshwar Maharaj said, we are all babbling in illusion. And Nisargadatta Maharaj said that realized people are very quiet, which of course means internally as well as externally, without the chatter of the mind as well. In fact, Nisargadatta Maharaj even suggested that to change the thought feeling from I am seeing to something is seen, and from I am hearing to something is heard. So this shifts, the gear is shifted from the individual consciousness taking ownership of the seeing and hearing to a more passive kind of witnessing. So then the individual has not brought his or her baggage to the seeing and to the listening. It's a great extension of Gorakhnath's concept. After all, he was also part of the Navnath Sampradaya. This is also the reason why we have silent retreats. A lot of masters have given silent retreats, or they just sit in silence, because that is the one faculty, the faculty of speech, which, when exercised with discretion, what invariably happens is that the reaction turns into a response. A sage would respond, because without the sense of doership in the reaction becomes an appropriate response to the situation. In one of the exercises we were taught in this Tibetan course I had done, the inner chamber course, there was a sentence which said, guard your tongue and say only that which you must say during the course of the day. And you'll be surprised to see how so much is actually unnecessary. So much talk is really not needed. It is a tremendous spiritual practice to be able to limit what one has to say to matters which are truly relevant and important in one's day-to-day living. So Gorakhnath has given a very beautiful pointer when he has separated the seeing and the hearing from the speaking. Vimlananda used to say that we should not even say someone's name too often, because it is far more stronger to feel the emotion and look at the other person with that emotion than speak. Even in fact, he used the reference of a word like I love you, a phrase like I love you. To say it repeatedly is in fact diminishing the feeling behind those words. So Gorakhnath once again has shown us in such a subtle way the difference between these faculties in terms of the sense of doership. Of course, it is understood that there are some people who are programmed to be talkers. Some of us talk less, some talk more. The point is not that. The point is that how much of your talking is also invested with the sense of doership. How much of it is about me and my story, about what I'm wrapped up in, all the thoughts going on in my mind, which are then expressed. Because one will be surprised to see that a lot of talking is even simply to get the other's attention. Because what happens if I don't get the other's attention? Then I am no longer important for the other person. So a lot of this is unconscious patterns where we keep engaging people so that they listen to us, because we derive a sense of self from that. So it is a great spiritual practice which Gorakhnath has given, and one could reap tremendous benefits if during the course of the day one just sees, it's just clear seeing as to how much one is giving out to the universe by way of speaking, how much of it is natural, needed, and to what degree is it invested with a sense of doership? What degree is it me, 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 me? As Siddha Rameshwar Maharaj said, Maya is me.